First, getting sexual too fast. Now, I don't think a lot of you who are watching this video will necessarily do that because a lot of guys who watch my videos are a little bit more on the shy side. But if you get too sexual too fast, you're gonna turn her off. She does not like this. She does not want to be talking to you on that level so soon. You gotta remember, men and women are very different. If a woman was doing that to a man and getting sexual really fast, that might be a turn on for him. He might be excited by that. That might be a fun conversation. For a woman, she might feel uncomfortable, unsafe, and that's what turns a woman off. Small talk about nothing. Now, I believe there's levels of talk, right? There's small talk. I even think there's like a medium talk and a big talk, maybe even an extra large talk. The small talk I'm talking about is shit that doesn't matter, right? Like the weather. The weather is small talk. That has nothing to do with anything, and it's a conversation people have all the time. There's no real reason to be talking about things that don't matter. So that's your filter. Like, does this matter? So what's the next level up? People think small talk is, what do you do for work and where do you live, things like that. Well, yes, that is small talk, but those things actually do matter. You are learning about someone. So I even think it's okay to be talking about some of those things over what's the weather. I do have something you can get for free. It's a video that talks about the topics of conversation women love, and that really escalates it to what I call big talk. And this is called Chick Crack. You can get that at tripadvice.com/chick-crack. Link is in the description down below, and it will teach you in 10 minutes the 5 topics of conversation that women want to be talking about. Next, women get really uncomfortable when you're not looking them in the eye. It's very awkward. It comes off very nervous, very anxious-like when you can't look at someone in the eye when you're talking to them. That does not mean you need to be staring deep into their soul every single second, but it does mean that about 90, even 95% of the time when you're talking to someone, when you're listening to someone, that you should be giving good eye contact. They will not like it. In fact, you wouldn't like that either if someone was talking to you and barely looking at you when you were trying to have a conversation like this. It doesn't allow for a connection, and it makes the person feel very uncomfortable. Next, women don't like an awkward pause, just like that. An awkward pause means that you guys are sitting there and about 5, maybe even 7 to 10 seconds go by, which can feel like an eternity, but that's also gonna make her feel uncomfortable. It's gonna make you feel uncomfortable. It's okay to have some natural pauses like that. This is totally fine. But when it gets to the 5, 6, 7 second mark and nothing is being said, you can guarantee things are gonna get a little bit uncomfortable. This is a time when there's exceptions being made. I'd rather you talk about the weather or some other bullshit if you have to just make sure there's no awkward pauses for that long. Once you get better and you have more experience talking to women, this won't be as much of a problem and you'll have something a little bit more interesting to say, especially if you get the Chick Crack video I was just talking about. Next, which is kind of counterintuitive, not getting close enough to them. Obviously, it's gonna be strange if you are too close. You don't wanna go right up to a person's nose and talk to them, obviously. But a lot of guys, they put themselves at too much of a distance, and that also can make it awkward. It's obviously awkward when you're too close, but it's also awkward when you're too far. The girl or the person that you're talking to doesn't really know if you're in a conversation, doesn't really know what's going on. And the person has to know, especially if a girl that you're hitting on, has to know that you're in a conversation with them. So at any given time when you're going and you're approaching a woman, you wanna be about 2 feet away from them and facing them in conversation so you can get their attention and so she knows what's happening. Next, you can't avoid her friends completely. This is gonna be a problem. Obviously, if you go and you approach a girl at a bar during the day, whatever, and it's her and a friend, you're gonna be talking a little bit to that friend. I know you know that gut feeling, but when you are going and talking to a girl who's maybe with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 friends plus, you do want to enter a little bit of conversation with the woman that she's with. You might also know that, so let me just start from the top here, teaching you how to approach a group of women. You don't approach the group at first, you approach the girl that you like, you start conversation with her, and then you bring in the rest of the group as need be. Ideally, you are talking to her more than you are the group, so you can make the connection with her, with the woman that you're interested in. But you do want to bring in the friends just a little bit, and then she can see how well you are at socializing, and that's going to actually get her more attracted to you. Next, be careful of the sound of your voice if it is too monotone like this. You want inflection in your voice. It's hard to explain of why that's the case. Obviously, you might know that, like, yeah, you don't want to be monotone, but why? It just sounds strange. It sounds like you're a robot. It doesn't sound like you're human. You want to have that inflection when you're going up and when you're going down, maybe when you're going really fast and talking, and then slowing down a little bit. Something about that offers a more charismatic view of the person that you're talking to who's able to do that.